This is an overview of the HP-1534 Pavilion desktop PC, the AMD A8 series model. What a wonderful computer. If you're thinking about a starter for a gaming computer, this is great. The A8 processor is not the best AMD multiprocessor that's out there, but the 5500 is good enough to game with. You can game with this. And that's the great thing about these out-of-the-box machines. You see, the A8 and the A10 can both plug into this system, and they're 37% better than the last generation chip. This is a brand new chip, just came out in February, and they just started using this chip in this particular PC, which was created on the 13th of February of 2013. If you'll look here, look at the different SATA ports. There are 4 open SATA ports, and also the south bridge is completely covered with an aluminum cover. The DVD does everything except dual layer. If you want to have dual layer or a Blu-ray, you can add it. There's no problem with adding things on this computer. This is the motherboard. Now, the motherboard is very, very, very upgradable because most of these ports are not actually being used at the time, so you can actually plug in things into these empty ports. That's the awesome thing about this HP Pavilion. This is the way it's set up. It's set up in an upside down motherboard fashion, which helps in cooling a lot because heat rises and the heat goes through the power supply. If you look here, it's got an on-board wireless B, G, and N 150 megabit per second wireless, so you don't have to plug it in. Also, look at all of the open USB 2 ports that are there. It has a buzzer, and if you can look over to the right there, that's the clear CMOS button. That is where the front headphone jack, and now let's look at the memory section here. It has one stick of 8 gigabyte memory in it, but there's 3 open more ports there where you can actually add more memory to it. Also, if you'll notice, here's the back of the motherboard. You have USB 3, which are the blue ones, the USB 2, which are the black ones, and the power supply is 300 system. It does have an oversized CPU cooler. The APU, if you get a bigger APU, you don't have to change the cooler. You can still use the same cooler. That's the great thing about this. Now, the 5500 is in the red, so it shows you the keyboard and the mouse are kind of another thing that's not so great about the system, but it's okay. 1 terabyte Western Digital hard drive is awesome, and the Beats audio is great for headphone output and for microphone input. Now, I want to end up by telling you that HP has nothing to do with this article. They have not asked me to do this summation of this computer. A friend of mine brought it to me to help him set it up, and I am an enthusiast, and I wanted to help him set it up the best way, and I opened it up and looked at it, and I went, wow, this is actually a box system that I would buy. This is a box system that you could buy as a starter for a really good gaming system. And if you change the power supply, you could put a really, really, really hot video card in this thing. And you could put a Blu-ray player. You could put a tuner card in it. You can put all kinds of things in this system because they didn't break your legs before you bought it. They normally do that. They normally only make that motherboard to accept what's on there and not to make it upgradable, so you have to buy it again. This one is something that you can keep for a while. You can upgrade it. You can put more memory. You can put a better processor in it. You can even put faster memory, which is up to 1866 megahertz. The back of the panel is self-explanatory, but the front, now most most guys who are like enthusiasts or they're working with this board, they really need this little thing right here. So this is your front panel connections for the 1534, just in case you need them. And this is the end of the overview of the HP Pavilion Beats Audio 1534 system. Thanks for watching and have a great day.